Hi there, my name is Isra. Welcome to another disturbing crime story of Joanna Madonna, a 48-year-old woman who brutally killed her 68-year-old husband, Jose Perez. She claimed it was self-defense, but no one could have anticipated the evil hidden behind her innocent facade. What investigators discovered later will leave you in shock.
This is in multiple times since the start of court this morning. Left her multiple voicemails, and we're still repeating, calling her back. Whatever the court is inclined to do, we are more than willing to do. We anticipate putting on Miss Madonna next, and that will more than likely be our only other witness.
But before we proceed, our heartfelt condolences go out to Jose Perez's surviving family for their tragic loss. Joanna Madonna's early life hinted at the struggles she faced. She was born on the 3rd of April, 1967. Growing up in a troubled family in rural Illinois, she endured neglect and abuse, surrounded by poverty and violence that deeply influenced her perspective on life.
Did you have any relationships while you were in college?
Yeah. Well, I was still drinking, and smoking marijuana. And I had developed an eating disorder. And at the end of my first year of college, I met a nice young man, and we started dating, and we dated all the way through college.
Joanna's background reveals a challenging upbringing as the adopted child. With her birth parents deceased, she found herself in a home where financial struggles were the norm. This instability during her adolescence pushed Joanna towards harmful coping mechanisms, laying the foundation for further difficulties in her adult life. As she grew into her teenage years, Joanna's rebellious nature grew stronger, pulling her into a life filled with crime where she found comfort in chaos. Each run-in with the law dragged her further into darkness, leaving behind a trail of broken relationships. Joanna, originally known as Joanna K. Boesiger, appeared to live a regular life. She chose a career in education and became a devoted teacher at a Catholic school, known for her active involvement in the community. However, the shocking events of 2013 brought her hidden struggles to light, revealing the complexities beneath her seemingly stable exterior. She married for the first time with Chuck Pritchard and had 3 daughters from that marriage. But unfortunately, this marriage didn't survive. After some time, she found Jose Perez and married him. However, her past demons continued to haunt her, lingering just below the surface, ready to emerge at any moment. Joanna and Jose seemed like a good match at first. She found comfort in their marriage, feeling safer with him. But as time went on, Joanna's old troubles came back, making things hard between them. Jose tried to help, but Joanna's past made it tough for them to be happy together. Their relationship turned into a struggle, leaving them both feeling hurt and lost. Even though he tried to help her, Joanna's inner struggles made things tough for their relationship. This caused more problems every day. What used to be a happy marriage turned into a place of secrets and hurt, leaving both Joanna and Jose feeling like they couldn't fix things, no matter how hard they tried. If you're finding this story compelling, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more crime stories like this. Jose Perez had been enjoying a peaceful life until the fateful day of June 15, 2013. On that evening, everything took a dramatic turn for the worse in the relationship between Joanna Madonna and her husband, Jose Perez. They both left the house together like they often did. Everything seemed normal as they headed out. But when Joanna came back alone, something felt different. She seemed really nervous, making everyone wonder what was going on and what might happen next. The very next day, the police made a grim discovery. Jose Perez's lifeless body was found in a ditch by a quiet country road in Wake County. He had been stabbed many times and left there to perish. When the authorities found him, the signs pointed to something sinister, raising serious concerns. This led the police to start looking into the possibility of murder right away. Joanna Madonna's actions and words following the incident made the police suspect her involvement. She was arrested on June 16, 2013, and questioned about her whereabouts with her husband. The stab wounds on Joanna's hand hinted at a story she was trying to hide. Meanwhile, Jose Perez's body was sent to the North Carolina office of the chief medical examiner for examination. Realizing she couldn't escape, Joanna changed her approach and confessed something unexpected to the police. During questioning, Joanna tearfully claimed that Jose was drunk, and they argued, leading to a violent confrontation where he attacked her with a gun. She said she defended herself by stabbing him. She insisted it was self-defense, not murder. But doubts lingered. Could her story hold up? Where did she get the knife? Stabbing someone 12 times in self-defense seemed unbelievable. The police suspected she was lying, but lacked concrete evidence to prove it was first-degree murder. Joanna's trial began on March 24, 2015. Right from the start, she admitted to being involved in her husband's death, but claimed it was self-defense, not planned.
I swear, testimony you give this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a seat.
Witness, witness. Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Madonna.
Good morning.
Ms. Madonna, did you have to protect yourself from Jose that day?
Yes, I did.
Did you think Jose was going to kill you on that day?
Yes, I did.
Did you have to kill Jose in order to stop him from killing you?
Yes, I did.
Did you plan to kill Jose that day?
No, I didn't.
In an unusual move for a trial, Joanna took the stand to speak in her own defense, sharing her story over several days. She talked about her tough life, including abuse from her parents and being sexually exploited from the age of 5 into her teenage years.
The most traumatic thing I remember is that when I was 5 years old, I was molested by my neighbor and her brother.
Talk to us more about that.
I don't remember a whole lot of details about it.
When you were raped at 16, were you a virgin at that point in time?
I was a virgin before I was raped, yes.
And how did that affect you?
Well, that pretty much messed me up sexually for a long time.
Did anything occur like that similar to you again while you're out on the street?
Yep, about 8 months later, it was summertime now, and I was with a similar type of group of people. We were walking down the Bronx River Parkway from White Plains up until going up to like Valhalla, where there's this big dam and there's like this little lake over there. And we were all walking and we had been drinking, and I got caught behind, like I got left behind, and I probably had to use the bathroom. And I didn't realize there was a man there. And right there in broad daylight on the side of the Bronx River Parkway, he threw me down, raped me right there. He was behind me, and he had his hand around my throat from behind me. And I couldn't make any sound, and raped me, and then he left, and I ended up walking and caught up with the rest of the people. And
Did you tell anyone about this?
no, I didn't tell anyone.
Did you say anything to the person?
No.
Why are you still hanging out with these kind of people after what had happened to you before?
These were the people that I was hanging out. I mean, this was just the group of people that I was with. I had nobody. I mean, I didn't have anywhere else to go.
These experiences led her to turn to drugs and alcohol, affecting how she reacted on the night of her husband's death. Joanna said that her husband was violent and abusive towards her, often threatening to harm himself if she tried to leave. During her testimony, she explained that on the night he died, he threatened her with a gun, but it went off accidentally and hit him instead. This made him angry, and he tried to strangle her. Joanna claimed that she only acted to protect herself when he attacked her. In light of Joanna's defense, her attorneys emphasized that Jose Perez's death wasn't planned or intentional, but rather an act of self-defense. During the defense's closing statement, attorney Deontay Thomas pointed out a crucial error on Joanna's part after she stabbed her husband. She didn't call the police. Thomas argued that if Joanna had involved the authorities from the beginning, the situation would be very different. He highlighted Joanna's history of making poor choices, including failed marriages and struggles with substance abuse, suggesting that her decision-making skills shouldn't lead to a murder conviction. However, the prosecution remained skeptical of Joanna's claims. Perez's body was discovered with over a dozen stab wounds in a ditch near Falls Lake. A doctor testified that Perez's physical condition before his death wouldn't have allowed him to attack Joanna, given his poor health. This supported the prosecution's theory that Joanna grew tired of her ailing husband and wanted to be rid of him to move on with her life. Dr. Robert Falge, one of Perez's treating physicians, revealed that Perez suffered from various health issues, including back pain, arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes, making it challenging for him to walk independently. During the investigation, police officers noted suspicious behavior from Joanna. Wake County Sheriff's Detective Brian Gay mentioned that when Joanna was informed about her husband's body being found, she immediately covered her face and began sobbing, although no tears were shed. Additionally, She initially lied to her family about Perez's whereabouts, claiming he had gone to Florida. These actions appeared less consistent with someone acting out of fear for her life, and more suggestive of someone trying to conceal their involvement in their husband's death. After the prosecution presented their arguments, testimonies from various witnesses added layers of complexity to Joanna's case. Rachel Lopez, Joanna's eldest 22-year-old daughter, recounted the events of the night her stepfather was killed in June 2013. She remembered hearing her mother and stepfather leave together, but Joanna returned home alone later, visibly upset and with a cut on her arm. Despite Rachel's suggestion to call the police if Jose came back, Joanna dismissed the idea, saying he wouldn't return. Rachel disclosed that her mother explained Jose had gone to his Alcoholics Anonymous sponsor's house and planned to leave for Florida the next day. However, prosecutors claimed Joanna stabbed her husband 12 times, leaving him to die in a ditch, and disposed of evidence, including their wedding ring. Additionally, it emerged that Joanna had an inappropriate relationship with her former therapist, John Chadwick Richardson, shortly after her husband's death. Richardson testified that Joanna visited him, alleging Jose had gone to Florida after a rough incident where he cut her with a knife. Further incriminating testimony came from Joanna's ex-husband, Chuck Pritchard, who supported Joanna's story about Jose going to Florida after the incident. He also recounted instances of Joanna's violent behavior towards him. Throughout the trial, Joanna's daughter, Rachel Lopez, tearfully portrayed her mother as caring. However, the prosecution challenged this depiction, presenting evidence of Joanna's contradictory statements and suspicious conduct. Given conflicting testimonies, the trial's focal point remained whether Jose Perez, given his poor health, could have physically assaulted Joanna as she claimed. Medical experts testified about Perez's severe health conditions, making it improbable for him to engage in a physical altercation. The emotional impact of the trial was palpable as jurors reacted strongly to the distressing testimony and autopsy photos illustrating Perez's injuries. Amidst the upheaval, Joanna's defense attorney Crystal Grimes underscored that Joanna had no motive to kill Jose and sought a divorce due to his behavior. After a thorough examination of the evidence and testimonies presented during Joanna Madonna's trial, the jury reached a decision on April 10, 2015.
I just ask you to take into consideration.
Miss Lewis Jenkins.
Ms. Lewis Jenkins, your four-person turned as a verdict of the jury, a verdict of guilty of first-degree murder. Was this your verdict? Is this still your verdict? Thank you, ma'am. You may be seated.
They found Joanna guilty of murder in the first degree for the death of her husband, Jose Perez, on June 15, 2013. The jury determined that Joanna's actions did not align with claims of self-defense, and that the stabbing was premeditated. On June 18, 2015, Joanna was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
State prepared to proceed, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I would simply ask you, in accordance with the law, to sentence this defendant to life in prison without parole.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, obviously we fully understand the statutory punishment for what the jury is convicted Ms. Madonna of. Just like to say for the record, you recognize the support that she has, and some of that support wasn't able to attend through a lot of this. Ms. Madonna has no criminal background whatsoever. She has overcome a lot, has a lot of support from a loving family, and will continue to do so. I would ask that I would respectfully enter notice of appeal at this point in time, and also, I'm sorry, and I would also ask you to consider any kind of educational or work opportunities that will be available to Ms. Madonna during her period of incarceration.
Despite Joanna's defense attorney arguing for leniency based on her troubled past and lack of previous criminal record, the jury upheld the severity of the crime.
Ms. Madonna, is there anything you would like to say about that hearing?
I have nothing to say other than to thank the jury and thank Your Honor for taking so much time to consider my case.
The verdict of the jury is hereby accepted by this court as order recorded. Madam Clerk, the Madam State of North Carolina versus Joanna, the verdict.
The decision marked the end of a lengthy legal process that began with Joanna's arrest and concluded with her conviction and sentencing. The legal process was prolonged due to the meticulous examination of evidence and testimonies, ensuring a fair trial. As we contemplate Joanna Madonna's story, we wonder, what drove her to such a tragic outcome? Were there signs of distress that went unnoticed? How could her life have taken a different turn? These questions challenge us to understand her struggles and the complexities of her circumstances. Let us know your thoughts about that in the comments below. Also, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like the video and hit the subscribe button. Until next time.